So I welcome all of you to Power Monday. Just in case you're here for the first time, this is a program that we've been having every single morning, as long as we live. We hope to have it. We have it every Monday, except for public holidays in Kenya, and it's meant to bring together professionals and entrepreneurs from all over, to share, to learn, to grow, that each one of us, we may be able to live our dreams. So we share different topics that help us to grow in our various places and organizations and in our careers. This is usually hosted by Live Your Dream Enterprises Limited, together with ICT Gurus and any other organization that wishes to partner with us for a session or so is also welcome. And we welcome each and every one of you. There are people who've been in this program from the beginning, 4 years back, and we are still on. There are people who keep joining along the way. We are very happy and grateful. Count ourselves privileged. I'd like to welcome Nancy Mora to open for us today with, I'm told it's a Shahiri today, so I'm very eager. Last week, she excited us with a song or something that was almost close to that before going back to the poem. Nancy.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Hamjambo, mumeamkaje?
Mimi sijambo.
Mwamba vyema. So before I proceed to our poem, allow me to appreciate Power Monday or Live Your Dream. One of the things that I have learned and I have taken home throughout the year is discipline. Discipline, when you have purpose to do something, you have to do it. You can bear me witness that when I started the year, I said, I am going to log in every single Monday. And I think I've not logged in only once because I was on the road. Whether I have bundles, whether I don't have, they have to be found. And there is a way that God aligns your purpose, your plans to his way, that in fact they don't miss or anything for whatever reason. And thank you, Live Your Dream, that it is beautiful. Thank you so much. Allow me to proceed to my shairi. Leo ninataka kukariri shairi vile tulikuwa tunakariri kwa shule ya msingi. Unasema, kwa majina ninaitwa Lucita Mora na nina shairi titled Mapenzi wewe nikikupata wewe. Mapenzi wewe nikikupata wewe, kila siku nitakuwa na sherehe. Mapenzi wewe nikikupata wewe, tutacheka vicheko za furaha. Ni kama nyota angani, nitakwambia mapenzi wewe, upendo ni safari, na hii safari lazima tutaanza. Na nauli ninayo mapenzi wewe. Nakwambia mapenzi wewe, nikiona jua limechomoza, asubuhi imetia, najiuliza uko wapi mapenzi wewe, nije nikutafute, kichwa changu kina mawazo. Mapenzi wewe nikikupata wewe, nitakufuata ulipo. Nitakwambia mapenzi wewe, nyumba yangu ingali mlango wazi, karibu. Siku hizi nitakupenda, nitakuenzi, utakuwa wewe peke yako mapenzi wewe. Kila kidogo tutakachokuwa nacho tutakienzi kwa dhati. Nakwambia mapenzi wewe, kama mfalme na malkia, nikikupata wewe mapenzi wewe, nitakuenzi. Hata kama uko mbali mapenzi wewe, nitakukumbuka kwa roho yangu, nitakuwaza. Mapenzi wewe, siku ambayo nitakupata wewe, mapenzi wewe. Mapenzi wewe ukiwa nami, masaa yatakuwa marefu, tutacheka, tutasahau dhiki. Hata mambo ambayo yanaendelea kando yetu tutayasahau yote. Juu mapenzi wewe, nikikupata wewe nitakuenzi wewe. Mapenzi wewe, nikikupata wewe, picha zako nitazitazama kama samaki baharini bila hofu. Angali sijui kuogelea, mapenzi wewe nitaogelea na wewe. Na kuambia mapenzi wewe, nikikupata wewe sitacheza na wewe, nitakuenzi cha kweli. Kila jioni mapenzi wewe, ingali sijui kupika hicho chakula, mapenzi wewe nitakupikia wewe hicho chakula, sababu mapenzi wewe nitajifunza kupika, ingali nikupate wewe mapenzi wewe. Tutakaa chini tukiangalia mwezi kwa mwezi ukipita, ninalo tabasamu mapenzi wewe la kuenzi. Nikikupata mapenzi wewe, kama hadithi za kale, mapenzi wewe nitakuenzi wewe. Kama kahawa asubuhi inavyonukia vizuri, nitakuimbia, nitakukariria shairi. Juu mapenzi wewe, nikikupata wewe nitakuenzi wewe. Ingali kuna mvua, nitakufunika kama mwavuli, nitatembea nawe usije ukanyeshewe, sababu mapenzi wewe, nikikupata wewe nitakuenzi milele. Mapenzi wewe, nikikupata wewe nitakuenzi milele. Thank you.
Even that thank you is in Swahili, but thank you very much. I think people are happy, people have enjoyed, except a few who've not followed anything. Like my friend Moyo from South Africa. She's just wondering, what is it that you are talking about? And she's told me, I don't get anything. Yeah, so I loved it. Many people, I see their reactions, and if they could only show their faces, you'd just imagine. Let's go to introduction of the guest. Briefly, I will call a great lady here, and that is Cynthia. Cynthia, you're there?
Yes, I'm here, Mr. Paul.
Okay, great. Introduce for us the guest.
Yeah, my task is very simple this morning, is to introduce our speaker for today. Well, our speaker for today is a social development professional with experience in social policy and research. He's currently serving at the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission as the manager for administration and human capital management. And it's interesting that he's served in 22 countries. You know, that really intrigued me, 22 different counties in our country. He is a graduate of social work and community development from the University of Nairobi, where he pursued both his undergraduate and postgraduate studies. And interesting enough, he's also mentioned that he used qualitative research method for his dissertation. That's not an easy thing. He is a member of Rotary Club of Nairobi, Thika Road, and he served as a club service projects director, president nominee, club administration, among many other roles. He enjoys traveling, driving community-driven initiatives, reading biographies and autobiographies, and he's also an amateur writing, and he's slowly learning the ropes of the arts that allows him to document his life experiences and share at the same time. He is a father to 15-year-old Tessie, who is now in Form 2. And he believes that living is not only doing his best, but going the extra mile to do his very best in search of excellence and perfection in everything he does. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Mr. Martin, our speaker for today, Mr. Martin Njeru from Mount Kenya. Karibu Bwana Martin.
Thank you very much. And good morning, everyone on call. I'm very excited to join you this morning. I hope you can hear me. I hope I'm audible enough to proceed and make my presentation.
Yes, you're audible, sir.
Very well, very well. It is an honor to join Power Monday. I am a silent follower, but today I get an opportunity to speak a few lessons, which I think I have learned in my leadership journey. As has been introduced, that I believe in excellence in whatever I do, and God has given me an opportunity to serve in many other places. And so I am extremely excited, Peter, that you invited me to speak today to Power Monday team, and hoping to also be a contributor. And in a day not very far away, also to be allowed to do a shairi. I'm very good at them. So thank you so much, Daktari, for your very, very nice shairi that has set us away. So someday soon I should be allowed to do a shairi. I'm already sharing my screen. I mean my screen.
Yes, it's
but
on.
My topic is very simple. It's actually a discussion topic. I hope we can engage. I will speak for maybe only 15 minutes or less, and we can use the rest of the remaining time to engage on commitment. Dr. Lucita, when she started up, before she did her poem, she mentioned that she has committed herself to join every Monday, and it's only one Monday that she never managed to join because she was on the road, or maybe the time zones were not working for her wherever she was. And I think that's a very important place to start in terms of commitment. Commitment by heart is the name of my topic, although I have not typed it in full on the screen. But it basically means giving your best, even at the least, even when it's most challenging. So I have gone through a few quotes that I want us to think about, but asking for you and using the chat box, I want kindly to request that please, in one or two words, or maybe three words, whatever works for you, what would you describe commitment to be? Whether in your place of work, your business environment, your professional life, your family situation, what would you describe commitment? I would kindly be excited to see one or two more responses before I proceed. What would you think commitment would be? I hope somebody can be able to type. I have not seen in, let me see, fully pledged, devotion, uttermost involvement. Yes, being there when needed and on time. Thank you very much, Milka. Yes. Dedication, I use a say so, dedication, keeping promises, being intentional, no turning back, doing what you said you'll do, saying something and following through with action, even when it's inconvenient. Very well, Nelly, because I think that's what commitment is about. Thank you so much for your many responses. Please keep them coming. And I know the session is being recorded, and so we'll be managed to go through them as we go along. Now, my guru on Mahatma Gandhi, whom I read a lot about leadership and involvement and commitment in everything we do, thinks of it as being a state of being bound. Think of your mind as being bound, both emotionally, intellectually, or both, to a particular person or cause. So it's something you've commit your mind, your thought, your process to do and to become. That is what it describes to be. It starts with a choice. So for you to commit, you have to make a choice. That's why we have made a choice, and you see, we have many of us who have logged in this call. It's quite early. There are many other things you could be doing at this time of the day, considering is the start of a new week. But you purposefully intend to be here. You're dedicated to become, and that's simply what commitment is about. And the bigger part of this presentation, I want us to use it to discuss the challenges we have had about commitment, because really I believe we had many challenges, but I know it is possible for us to be able to make a difference if we commit to do something. So it's about actions, it's about thoughts, it's about processes, something that we obligate ourselves to do and to become. That giving ourselves, sometimes it happens at a higher personal cost. Somebody has talked about it in our in the comments that we made. Commitment is what transforms a promise into a reality. I tell us that is Abraham Lincoln saying. He says that what you promise, the choice you make, how you process it into reality is what commitment becomes. And so I know it is challenging. It's something I'm even trying to study, even at a higher level in my studies, to see what commitment and what it entails and what it becomes. But this is one of the best descriptions I love from Abraham Lincoln, that commitment is what transforms a promise into reality. Even if it's inconvenient, it is very important to commit to do what you agree to do. The more committed people are, the more influential you'll be. So we are leaders here, all of us in our different rights. We take charge in various responsibilities around many issues and many places that we influence, that we have. But let me tell you, what is going to transform you from being average and being special is being committed. You don't have to show it. You don't have to force people through the throat. But your influence will be driven when you commit and you don't give up to commitment you make. That I believe that it would be why it is very important for us to be committed what we do, whether in our places of work or in our places of influence, whether within our children, how we committed to what we promise to do to our children or to our family members is very important. As leaders, it's always important to remember that people will cooperate more with us in what we do or plan to do when we are committed. And by the way, commitment then brings a lot of effectiveness in what we are doing. Whether when you are more committed, it becomes more seamless in achieving what you do. So commitment is really important in wherever we do, and it is very important that we drive commitment in what we do. It might take us more challenges. It might mean that we go an extra mile or we inconvenience ourselves. But I know we all know that great organizations, for what they become, demand a high level of commitment for the people involved. So because we are leaders in our various spheres, I just encourage us that for us to be from great to super, we must always give it our best and to discuss. And I want us to look at only 4 facets of effective commitment, which I believe explain the spread of commitment. If we assign value to what we are supposed to do, if we feel supported, if we feel treated, and you feel valued, these 4 coins of the same, these 4 sides of the same coin make it very, very important for us to be effectively committed. For you to drive effective commitment, you need to look at 4, and before I explain them from a theoretical sense, I would want to hear maybe 1 or 2 people speak about maybe how they would correlate effective commitment to these 4 facets that I have displayed on the screen. I hope you can see my screen, and you can just unmute yourself and say what you think about value assignment, what you think about fairly treated, any of them without any order. Please go.
Yeah, or can put in the chat. Sometimes it's
okay. We can use the chat, so because we don't want to have so many people speaking at the same time. That's okay.
It helps to manage time.
That's okay. That's okay. I'll just give only one minute. I see time is moving very fast. I don't know why time is moving very fast like that.
Yeah, as you're speaking, I think commitment has a lot to do with, as you said, value there or being valued. People who are not committed are never valued. And no leader wants to have any uncommitted person in their group or in their team. It becomes another problem. It's a big problem. And I think, for example, our Power Monday, it's been commitment, because it's not easy to wake up every Monday early morning to set up things and keep going, and also to keep finding speakers to speak. Yeah, not because somebody is being paid, you see. So, but commitment is now what sets the difference. Yeah, I know enough other people may have tried to do the same things, but it takes a lot of commitment, including the book that you are talking about, amateur writing. Thank you.
Yes, in the interest of time, I think we can proceed, and thank you so much, Peter. So this is just a good description of what effective commitment entails. One is value assignment, which basically means if you assign a value to a certain commitment that you have entailed, you're going to find time, find the energy, find the resources to get it done. Number two, on effective commitment is that when you're effectively committed, whether to a personal cause or to an organizational cause, a family cause, whatever cause, you'll always be supported. If you agree with me, I don't know if you agree with me or not, but if you commit to something, your team members, wherever they may be, or the organization that you commit to, even the bosses or the senior people who make decisions, will always support you if they know that what you're doing, you're fully committed to it. And that's another benefit of commitment. The third one is fair treatment. That in essence, when you're effectively committed in what you're doing and you've given it your best, remember what Abraham Lincoln said in his quote: transforming from better to best. You'll always be fairly treated. You get people along the way willing to assist you, willing to find the challenge that is coming along with what you're entailing to do, and you'll always get a good hand. Will always get somebody to shake it. So even if effectively committed, and I want you to reflect in your own lives and to think about it, you'll always receive a lot of fair treatment. And finally, value. When you're effectively committed, you not only derive the assigned value from the assignment, but also it becomes valuable not only in yourself. And that's why I can see we continue to consistently log on Power Monday every morning, because we derive value here. We are committed to it, and I'm sure we learn here tips and things that make us better in what we do. So that is what I would describe effective commitment to be. Do you believe it? You can do it. My presentation is not very long. It's about these four key things. Do you believe that we can be committed? We do. Do we believe that in the face of what is needed most in what we do we believe in these difficult and risky situations, even in unpopular situations, even in situations that the very nature itself inspires doubt? Do we believe that we can be effectively committed to do what we plan to do? Do we believe that we can be committed to make a difference in our spheres of influence because because of being effectively committed in everything we do? Do we believe that when we put most of what we have entailed to give to what we are doing, do we believe that we can make the world a better place? Commitment is a daily action. It's something we do from time to time. It's not something that we commit over a 6-month period. It's something we are supposed to put into motion and to assign value every day that we go along. So it's a consequence of a deliberate, intellectual, and emotional attachment to make a difference and to make the world a better place. So when we look at these 4 facets of effective commitment, do we believe it is possible to make the world a better place? Are we committed enough to give of our time? And I think this challenge really comes mostly in places that we don't receive a direct benefit. Say a place of work, you'll be paid. Say in a place of your business, you'll get some, from some joy from it. But how do you commit to those things that don't bring direct benefit? Maybe I had Peter say that most of his week or most of his Saturday was spent in a medical camp. Maybe did not expect a direct payment from that event. Maybe that's where our commitment is tested and where we need to give it our best. It is in places where we don't receive a direct gratification on the first hand. And I think it's those things as leaders we need to think about. What difference can we use with our time, resources, and energy to make the world a better place without necessarily thinking of the direct benefit that we receive to ourselves? Because this can only come through commitment. Sometimes it will take your money, sometimes it will take your energy, it will take your best thoughts to make it happen. But how do we go about it to commit ourselves to make a better place? And there are many quotes that we can assign to commitment. Mahatma Gandhi says that strength does not come from physical capacity. It comes from an indomitable will. Sometimes we don't become our best because we have the resources or the energy. But basically, and that's why I called my topic commitment by the heart. How we engage our heart to make a difference. How we give it of ourselves to make it a better place. St. Francis of Assisi says, start by doing what is necessary. Then what's possible? And suddenly you are doing the impossible. And I love that quote a lot by St. Francis of Assisi. Strength does not come from physical capacity. Start by doing what's necessary, then what's possible. And suddenly you are doing the impossible. When you commit ourselves bit by bit to do small acts of kindness and what we have committed to do, I'm sure the possible will suddenly become better and become the impossible. So believe in something big and you're worth the noble motive. Believe you can do something to change the world. Believe you can do something to change your life. Believe you can do something to change your circumstances. And before you know it, you'll have changed the world. It all comes through commitment. So without very many words, my presentation was that simple. It was that short. But I would also encourage us to continue to read around commitment, to learn to use our strength, not physically, to use our networks, to commit better, to assign value to what to give us ourselves, to feel the support, and also to find support in what we intend to do. And we shall that way add value to our world and become a more effective people in what we do. So let's start by doing what is necessary. Suddenly, it will be possible for us. And finally, we shall find it is doing the impossible that we are doing. So I encourage all of us, and Power Monday, I think the topic comes naturally to us about commitment. I'm sure being here itself is a commitment. Waking up every day is a commitment. The dinner that we plan in October is a commitment. Can we commit in what we do? And I would request that I end my presentation there. Peter, thank you for the time to present. I hope all of us understand the need to cultivate responsibility, because responsibility, that is what is commitment. And from that way, we can make the world a better place. Let's start with what is possible, and suddenly we shall be doing the impossible. through commitment. Thank you very much.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, you mentioned medical camp. That is a testimony of commitment because it's been there every year for 36 years. You see, always in September, a Saturday in September, we pick a Saturday, and it's a free medical camp organized by the church. And I think it's also important that sometimes when we want to commit ourselves, you can announce it. For example, we always announce that we are going to upload the recording on YouTube by Wednesday, and that puts us there so that whatever it takes, we are going to ensure that it's ready and uploaded not later than Wednesday. Yeah. And as you said, let's also commit to come for dinner. You know, part of how you benefit from Power Monday is connecting, meeting, and greeting people face to face. For people who can be in Nairobi, I know enough of us are outside. But for people who are in Nairobi, and there are many of them, Nairobi and its environs, that is Nairobi Metropolis, we have a dinner at Boulevard, at Hotel Boulevard, just next to University of Nairobi, to come, meet and greet, share knowledge, have fun, which will begin at 6. It's only 3,000 shillings. We've put the details there. We also have a WhatsApp group through which we continue to communicate. Now, we welcome questions. I have not seen a question in the chat, but if you have a question that you want to put forward, or you have a comment that you want to add on that, or you have a testimony, yes, you committed or not got not committed, this is the time. We have a few more minutes to go before we move on to the vote of thanks. Yeah, so Cynthia said, thank you for sharing. The greatest form of commitment is one given out, expecting, I think it was expecting nothing in return. Be intentional about the transformation with the gifts. And the thing jumped. Yeah, with the gifts you have, no matter how small they may seem. And then Dr. Eda is saying, thank you very much. I would like to know more about the difficulties, including personal mental health challenges, including stress and burnout. I would like to know more about the difficulties, including failure of the team members to fulfill their own promises, also lukewarmness. I don't know whether that is a question. How? What would you like to know more? You'd like to know more how to deal with them, or something like that, Dr. Eda? I have no idea.
I think she was asking something, Peter, to do about the mental health challenges, like stress and burnout, and how you deal with them.
Yes.
When you commit to something, and I think your team members are not putting in as much as you'd expect them to do, or their own part there to fulfill their part of the bargain in terms of fulfilling the commitment. I think that's what Dr. Hari meant.
Okay, great. Do you have something to comment on the same?
Yes. Well, it's challenging because, as I remember we started by saying that commitment is both emotional and mental. It's also intellectual. But of course, there are challenges that come along. One of them, I think, there is need to recharge. There is need to look at your goals, check on the larger teams, the larger people around you to see what is possible. It is also important when you feel disconnected to talk to your team members, the ones that you're in the same team with, whether it's a partner, whether it's a colleague. It's important to open up. That is a good way of making a connection and to make the thing straight, because we don't feel trapped in a mental situation. But again, a lot of sharing, a lot of reading, a lot of finding out the way out is a challenge. But if you're tired, you take a rest. recharge, and get back to working hard. That's I would give, but I would open to more to speak. Somebody also says that commitment speaks volumes about a person's character, and that's their take as a leader. You must commit to the cause you choose, and that way you shall make an impact. And I cannot agree more. So if you feel tired, you can recharge for you to make an impact. Yes, it has something to do with that. Yes, that would maybe my thought around that. But you could add, Peter, or any other team member in the team. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, Annie said, Asante Martin, indeed, commitment speaks volumes about a person's character, which I think is very profound. Speaks volumes about a person's character. My take is that, yes, every leader must commit to the cause we choose. That way, we make impact. Yes. Comment. Axis of love grows from the cradle to the grave. Starts with baby and parent, baby, sibling, parent as teenager, with love mates and parents. Odhiambulale, what is the point here? What are you trying to say? I don't seem to get it. Is that part of commitment? And then we have Dr. Flo Ambayo saying, I learned that in the aviation industry, when a pilot is ready to take off, they let the control lower. The control tower know by saying committed. Meaning if they come back, it will either be emergency landing or crash landing. That's what commitment means, even in other areas of our lives. Somebody mentioned something which I've passed, but it's something that I use. And throughout, I have a book called Live Your Dream in 7 Ds. The second D is usually determination. And I use it together with commitment. If you commit to do something, I remember I also read this in The Richest Man in Babylon. You will do it every day or wherever you committed to do it, in whichever form you committed to do it, whether you feel like doing it or not. Somebody said that, whether you feel like doing it or not. I think that was Emily. And that is the way it should be. Must be Emily Amunda, if I'm not wrong, right? So commitment means, if we have said, I usually say that even my children, I will cane them because I told them to. Yani, if I only happen to say it, then I will do it. If I don't say it, it's okay. But me saying it will mean I will follow it. Yeah, if I say, if you do this, I will do this, then I will do it. I will surely do it. So just keeping your word, choosing that you committed to it and you're going to do it, that is quite an important element in building character. And that's why somebody said also that it is something that will always speak to the type of person we are. Enough times we break our commitment, we break our promises. And in what pains me most is sometimes the other person doesn't even notice it. Yeah. And that means you maybe had committed yourself, you have put yourself into that arrangement. We are going to do the following. The other person completely gets forgets about it and doesn't even feel remorseful. It's quite a big thing. And this comes even in time. You said we are going to meet at 8. And then somebody comes at 9 and has all the excuses. A long time ago, in my early leadership training, I was taught, if you get an excuse somewhere dropped by somebody, don't pick it, because you will be tempted to give it to somebody else. So I was taught not to take excuses. And so I also don't give excuses. Excuse of traffic, excuse of what, I don't just take them. So commitment and discipline go hand in hand, and it will always demonstrate what type of person you are. And time, the way you observe time, the way you keep time, the way you keep you do your things will always show that you are a committed person or you are not. And it will make somebody make a choice whether they want to deal with you or they don't want to deal with you. They want to do business with you, they want to work with you, or they don't, because of your level of commitment or degree of commitment. I know if something is important for us, we will commit. And that's why you realize that somebody attending an interview will break all the odds, whatever that means, and they will make it in time or something. Whatever is important for them, they will make. But if it's not important for them, they will show, and that's how you will know whether you want to deal with somebody or you don't want to deal with them. So commitment is a big thing, and in our present world, enough of us sometimes don't seem to think of it much. So Zedi says, thank you so much. It's my first time with Power Monday. I've learned a lot from the presentation. Thanks, Martin. I'm committed to keep learning from Power Monday. Great. If you get an excuse dropped by somebody, yes, don't pick it. I don't. And by the way, sometimes people think I'm fairly harsh. It's because I don't pick excuses. And even if I seem to pick it, I will not forget. Yeah, that is, you gave me an excuse and I think you think I accepted it. I didn't accept it. It's only that I had no choice, but I will keep that in mind next time we are going to do something with you. Yeah, I know how much I need to invest in that, because it helps me to know what kind of person you are and what degree of seriousness I need to take you with. And that's the way it works across the board. And it works even when running meetings. If I know this meeting should not go beyond 2 hours, I know that it should not go beyond 2 hours. So commitment will be demonstrated in two things: what you say, what you do. We don't have a very good example in our political leaders who happen to be the people seen as leaders all the times. Thank you very much. Any other comment before I call somebody to give a vote of thanks? So if you want to raise your value in the marketplace, better show that you are somebody that somebody can relate with, and that can only be shown by your commitment. Sometimes I give, sometimes I show the 5 fingers as how we build our brand, how we build ourselves, and we get competitive in the marketplace. And while the first one, the thumb, is the strength of character, the character that we are, the second one, which points direction, is commitment. It's committing to a cause. Yes, we must commit to a cause. If you believe in a cause, you commit to it. If you believe in something, you commit to it. You're not going back. You're going to ensure that it happens. And then the third tall one is another C, which is called competence. You cannot be competent unless you are committed. Yes, unless you are committed. Then the other one is chemistry, and then charm, the little thing. Well, that's the whole syllabus of its own. So commitment is something that will always make a difference. It will always make a difference between you and others. Is there any comment, any question? Otherwise, I will move on to invite a vote of thanks. As we've said, let's join for the meet and greet. We usually have 3 meet and greets in a year, so that we don't just become virtual community. And this is going to be the 3rd one for this year. It's going to be a dinner at Hotel Boulevard. It's only 3K, an evening of fun and connecting with great people. And we are all invited. I had put the details there. Let's join. Okay, there being no any other business, I'd like, is Antonia here? I know she had a problem with the computer. Yes, Antonia, you can give a vote of thanks and any other.
Okay. I had a problem with my laptop. That's why I'm joining using my phone. Thank you, everybody who has managed to join Power Monday today. We are really grateful because you are here. I can just imagine if we made these meetings and nobody attended, it will no longer be a Power Monday. But because you are there, Power Team, that's why Power Monday continues to be here. I would like to thank everybody for logging in good time. By the time it was 8:15, we had a good number, and we've hit all the way up to 60 plus, and that's a great turn up. And we continue to encourage everybody here and also the group to continue logging in to get these great insights. I'm thanking our speaker, Martin Njeru. That was great presentation. And when I saw your presentation on the commitment, the effectiveness of commitment, I wondered what is the difference between value assignment and valued. And when you explained, it came out so clear. And these are things that we just mention without really knowing how deep they are. And thank you so much for that great insight. We have really been added value, and we know that wherever we commit to, as long as we have dedicated our time, it will definitely be supported and it will definitely be fairly treated. And that's a great insight that we've learned today. If I forget everything else, I'll be able to know that commitment comes around with fair treatment, value assignment, and also it comes with being valued. Thank you so much for that presentation. And I felt like, hey, that was too short and brief. And also it was so impactful. So I'm very sure we will have you back here so that we can continue from where we've stopped. I know where there is commitment, there are also other things that comes together with commitment. So we'll continue to build on that, and in the future we might call you back to come and finalize what you've just started. And I would like to thank Power Monday team. Thank you for making sure that we get these great speakers. I know we have been connected by the Power Monday board, Power Monday team. They make sure that we have these great speakers coming to bring topics that impact our lives so much. So thank you so much. And to the board, our chairman, Paul Peter, our member who is Dr. Melvin. We have our moderator whom I've not seen today, Madam Noel. Then we have our general secretary, who is the media veteran, Odhiambo Olale. Thank you so much. And we also have someone else who works behind the curtains. In fact, she has brought us most of the speakers here. And she's Edna. Thank you so much for making sure that we get these great speakers. Asanteni sana. We value you and we love you all. Have a great week ahead.